Hey sister, I made you another makeup tutorial. However, I have a little bit of a disclaimer before I start it. I highly recommend you get a spray tan. Does not need to be with a human. Actually, do not recommend getting it with a human because you are naked in front of a stranger. But if you go to like a Palm Beach tan or somewhere that has the spray tan booth, not a tanning bed, but a spray tan booth, you just step into like a little machine and a robot sprays you for like 5 minutes and then you're good to go for the rest of the day and you have a little tan for a week. And I recommend it because it makes you feel 100 times better about yourself when you're tan, because you look prettier and you feel skinnier and your makeup just looks better overall, and it hides blemishes on your back and face a lot better than when you're pale. And so I just 10 out of 10 recommend spray tans for any important event. And they do come in light, medium, and dark. I usually get a medium because I do like a little bit of a darker tan when I'm doing something special. But if you're scared, you can try a light spray tan and it will make you feel great about yourself. But if you do get a spray tan, you'll want to get the spray tan and then not shower for like 8 hours. And in that time, I'd recommend going to the drugstore and picking up a very cheap foundation that matches your spray tan color. And you're going to want to use that as the base for your makeup. Everything else can stay the same with your makeup, even the concealer, but you'll just want the foundation to be closer to your spray tan color. So, with that being said, without further ado, here is the rest of the makeup tutorial. Hey sister, it's time for round 2 of our makeup tutorial. I actually tried this look twice, and then on the last step my eyeliner exploded on my face, so I'm redoing it a second time for you. So this first step, we're going to start with priming our face. I'm going to show you 2 options here. The first was that Jungsang Mool cream, which was a Korean one sent to me, but this is a American one in case you can't find it. Both work well. You're just going to want to rub some all over your face, eyelids included, to prime the face, make it a little bit more sticky for the makeup. That way your makeup stays all day and grips a little bit better. So next we're going to apply the foundation. Here is mine. It's the One Cool Rosy from Dior, but whatever foundation you use will be fine. We're gonna blend that in all over the entire face and also put a little bit on your eyelids because it'll help your eyeshadow stick a little bit better later. Wow, great. Okay, next step is concealer. I just bought this one today because my other one ran out, so I'm going to be testing it here with you. We're going to cover up any blemishes that are still poking out through the foundation. You're also going to cover up any dark circles under your eyes or any spots that you want to brighten up or cover. Gonna blend out with a small brush or lightly dabbing with your fingers. Make sure it blends seamlessly into your foundation. Wow, great. Okay, next step. Next step is going to be using some contour. Okay, next up is using contour. Got that same trusty Anastasia Beverly Hills palette that I believe you have as well. You're going to want to make sure to put it in a C shape on your cheekbones. And what I was gesturing to there is the kind of indent from your cheekbones. You're going to want to go above that, not on it. Going above it gives you more of a snatched look and accentuates your cheekbones even better. If you go too low, it can make your face look saggy. So you're going to want to go above that indent of your cheekbones. I'm also putting it along my jawline, under my double chin, to hide that, and then making sure to blend it down the neck, because you don't want a harsh line where it stops. Also lightly putting some on the sides of my nose just to thin out my nose a little bit. And then using my bigger end of the brush to just blend that all together, make it more seamless, no harsh lines. Then I'm going in with the light shade underneath that indent of the jawline, that indent of the cheekbone, and that'll just create an even better illusion of some cheekbones. You're going to want to put it there as well as under the eyes where we put concealer and a little bit lower on the center of the cheeks. Next, we're going to use blush. I used a powder blush here like you said you have. You're going to want to do a C shape around both outsides of the eyes, patting, dabbing. You don't want too much so you can work your way and build up to the level of blush that you want. It may look a little crazy in the mirror with the amount of blush that you're using, but once you're taking photos, it's going to look great if you put a little bit more than you think you need. So more is better in the case of blush. Put a little bit more than you think you'll need. You're going to want to do the C shapes around the eyes as well as a little bit on the nose, a little on the forehead, a little bit on the chin. Not putting it directly in the center of your cheeks makes you have the appearance of having higher cheekbones. Here I'm putting a little dab of highlighter right in the indent between my eyes, cheekbones, and forehead where that divot is, and it'll just give you a glowy, dewy finish to your makeup. Alright, what am I doing here? I have no idea. Okay. This was just me trying out a different blush that I had, adding a little bit more. I have no idea what makeup brand that even is or where that palette came from, but wanted to try it out. Here I'm just putting a little bit of white shimmer in the inner corners of my eyes and the tip of my nose. Okay, this is the Cosmic Crush Too Faced palette. I've also never used this palette and wanted to try it out for this tutorial. So you're going to take the two lightest brown shades, kind of mix them together, apply that to the whole eyelid. That includes the eyelid as well as the part above the fold of the eyelid. Applying it above the fold lets your eyes seem a little bit bigger once you apply the rest of the eyeshadow. Next, we're taking a darker brown shade, putting it along the outer corner in a C shape. You're going to want to go above the crease and below the crease, so that way when you open your eyes and look forward, you can still see that color, because if you only put it on the lower part below the crease, you wouldn't be able to see that eyeshadow when you look forward. This is me just blending out that brown in the outer corner, bringing it into the middle of the eye. Don't be afraid to use your fingers as a blending tool. They're my favorite blending tool. Next, I'm just taking a neutral pink shade, no sparkle, and applying that to the inner half of the eye. You're going to blend that into the brown on the outside, and then you have a nice neutral eyeshadow look. This is a whitish cream color, putting that on the innermost corner to brighten up the inside of our eyes and blend it into that white shimmer I put earlier. The white on the inner corner of the eye makes you have a brighter eye appearance. I don't know what I'm doing here. Sorry about that. Alright, next we're going to use the Tarte Fake Awake. I love this product. It is a cream colored eyeliner, and so you're going to apply it only to the bottom waterline of your eyes. This makes your eyes look bigger when you're looking forward and brightens up your eyes. See, I love that. It makes your eyes look so much bigger. Next, I'm using the Thrive Cosmetics mascara, making sure to put it on top and bottom lashes. You're going to want to do tops and underneath of your top lashes, and finish going from inside to outside and pulling up so that your eyelashes are curled upward when you finish. Here I'm using the Benefit Brow in shade 3 to straighten up my brows and give them a little bit of a brown tint. And this is the lip liner from Rimmel, I believe, in shade 760 it looks like. You're just going to lightly outline the outside of your lips. We're not overlining, just defining the outer edge here. It does end up making your lips look bigger, but I'm not overlining, I'm just lining what's already there. I got this lip gloss today and wanted to try it out. I tried it out earlier and it was a little bit much to just apply like normal lipstick, so I just pat a little bit on and then rubbed my lips together for a little shimmer. I'm putting concealer back under my eyes again because when you do eyeshadow, there's a little bit of fallout, so this will cover up any brown that fell under your eyes, creating a dark eye look. So brighten the eyes back up again. And that is the finished look. Let me know what you think. If you want any tips, tricks, or adjustments, let me know. Here is a setting spray I forgot to do before the final reveal, but you're gonna want to set your makeup on both weddings because it'll help it stay for the rest of the day. Next, we're gonna do one more optional step. If you do want a more natural look, I would just stop here, but I love eyeliner. So if that's something you want to practice before the weddings and see how you feel about it, I would suggest doing that before just trying it on whatever wedding day, because eyeliner can be kind of hit or miss on people based on their eyelids and how hooded they are. If you have more hooded eyelids, eyeliner is not usually the best choice because it covers up your eyeshadow. But if you'd like to do eyeliner, this would be where you do it.